Hello everyone, and welcome back to the continued tutorial series on integrating .NET with SampleManager 11.0. Today's lesson is going to dig deeper into the code that supports the .NET application that you saw in the last episode. To help folks better understand the back-end that's occurring inside the code, I put together a quick Visio diagram that shows the relationship between the .NET application, which is called limsml.net, and the web service, the SampleManager 11.0 WCF service that you've seen these contracts exposed in previous videos, but this shows the relationship between the .NET application and the WCF service that are both running on the same machine. So I would suggest go ahead and pause here, take a look at this diagram, and try to understand it a little bit further. But in summary, the .NET application does three main things. It loads up an XML file, it serializes it, I suppose, and then there's adding the authentication header to that XML that's specific to SampleManager. We're going to use one of Thermo's built-in libraries that come out of the box to use and call a specific routine that's in one of those libraries to encrypt the username and password that's specific, that SampleManager will understand how to take that information and authenticate the request. Then we're going to take and create an object, a SOAP object, using another library that Thermo provides, and call a subroutine called process, which is going to make a connection to this particular WCF service, calling the process routine or contract, passing it the XML document or the limsml file for processing, and we should get a return code, a positive return code in the process. So go ahead and pause now, take a look at this if you need to, and then we'll continue. So as you saw in the Visio diagram, there are two main routines that Thermo provides to us. We just need to go and add the references to those libraries. The first reference is to add the reference for the authentication piece, and that routine called add user login is in a DLL that's local on the system. Now the name of the DLL, you have to browse for it because it's not already there. So when you browse for it, it's called thermo.sm.limsml.helper DLL. This is a .NET library, and I installed my SampleManager in the C programs files 86 Thermo SampleManager 11.0, and inside the exe folder you'll find that DLL. Now you'll find that DLL, that exe folder, in every instance of SampleManager you have running as well, and you can use that DLL as well in any of those folders. But that's the DLL you want to add a reference to. So that's the first reference. The second reference is adding a service reference so that we'll allow .NET to go ahead and build the SOAP objects or the web service objects that we need to connect to the WCF. So let me back up here. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to right click on the project again, go down to add. This time instead of clicking reference, we're going to click service reference. We're going to put in the URL for our endpoint, which is the WCF service. Click go. You're going to see, similar to the other tools we use to show this, it has it here. Go ahead and give it a name, which I've already done this, so I'm not going to do it. So there's lims WCF reference is what I called it. You can call it whatever you want. Just remember what you called it, and it will show up here. And when you're done, we'll go into the next step. When you add a service reference to your application, .NET automatically builds the necessary logic and updates the application configuration file that is loaded. When your application first loads up, it loads up the application configuration information, and there's specific information in here that .NET put in here for consuming the WCF service. We now have all the references we need, and now it's just a matter of going in and consuming and using those services. Stay tuned for the next video.